welcome back. Today we'll be walking through my August budget for the full month. First recorded monthly budget video in a while, so I'm pretty excited. This is what I've been working out of budget wise. I still budget on paper. I did not make that transition into digital planning. Well, I would say digital planning a little bit, but not finance related. I still do everything by paper. This is the planner that I'm currently using. Let me actually close this. This is where did I get this planner from? I got this from Plum Paper. Every year I get a Plum Paper planner, and I kind of just franken plan it up because I typically include other inserts. I was trying to think of the word. Inserts and whatnot. So what I usually get with the, let me flip to a month that doesn't have the inserts. I think I have inserts all the way up until October. But what you essentially get, you get, of course, your dividers for the month, and you kind of get this little dashboard page here. You get notes pages, and then you get your monthly layout, and then you get more notes pages. So there's no weekly pages for this. You can choose weekly pages. They have lots of options on Plum Paper. Lots of options for sizes, all the things, but I typically get this kind of, I think this is a 7x9. Yeah, I think it's a 7x9, like kind of that happy planner, classic size type planner. So that's usually the size I get because that's just enough room for me. It's just right. It's not too small. It's not too big. It's typically just right for me. And then, like I said, I just get the monthly layout because I use my own kind of inserts and whatnot with it. So, well, not my own like created, but my own in the sense of I buy them separately from the actual planner itself. So what we got here, I typically don't use this dashboard page really. I do use the notes page just to kind of jot down notes and such for the month. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the pages that we will be working with. So I like to just remove them when I'm getting things set up. Set that up there. And then I put it back in there, and I usually don't take it out again because I'm able to easily write and all the things with it in there. But when getting it set up, I just need a little bit more room, a little bit more space to play with. So first, what I actually like to do is go ahead and let me make sure that y'all are zoomed in. Let's see, so monthly goals, and I'm actually doing this on the fly with y'all. So got a trip at some point later this year planned, so I need to continue saving for trip. And then what else? What other financial goals do I have for this month? I would like to pay off all debt under like 1K, because I have a few little odds and ends of debts that are under 1K, and I really want to go ahead and just wipe those completely out in the month of August. That would be nice. So those are my two monthly goals. And please do not mind my nails. I know they look a little questionable, but I am trying some new things. And this is actually my first go around at doing it. I'm trying out poly gel, so don't come for me in the comments. To-do list for August. I don't think I really have much financial wise to-dos for August, but I may come back and add a few things. Income, I'm not going to fill that in. I talked about in my welcome back video, if you have seen that I'm going to be setting up some boundaries with things for a bit until I get to a point where I am comfortable kind of sharing the things. So income will be one that I just will not share for the moment. At this time, I do still have income. That's not the reason why I'm not sharing. It's just, like I said before, that was something that was used against me, and was one of the reasons why I kind of fell off with YouTube and all the things, because it was used against me in a really, really disgusting fashion. So I'm not going to be sharing income. Savings, I need to put towards my emergency fund. Emergency, if I can spell, emergency fund. And then I also have my sinking funds. And I'll come in and add those amounts after I put that in here. Sinking funds. And then I have some major savings goals. So that's kind of like the bulk of my saving plans there, and I'll fill in the amounts there. Like I said, don't have many to-dos. I really don't use this page. This half of the page. This is supposed to be sort of like a calendar layout setup, but because I actually use an actual planner, I already have it, and it's a little bit more functional for me than this. So I typically just like to set this up here. Like I said, I don't think I have any major to-dos for the month of August, but I will go back and double check and fill it in if I need to. I will fill in income off camera, so that way I'll know what my income is that's coming in for the month. On this back page, this is just monthly budget and review. So this is something that gets filled out at the end of the month just to see kind of like where we landed. There's kind of a little overview here of any kind of balance you brought over from the previous month, total income, expenses, the differences between the two, total savings, and any balance that's going to be forwarded over to the next month. Then you have a section for my biggest wins for the month. If I stay within my budget, what I learned, and what next steps I need to take to improve in the next month. But like I said, that gets filled out end of the month. Bill tracker. So let's go ahead and just fill this in. So this is kind of like a tracker to keep up with all the bills that are due for the entire month. I do have this front and back. I will try to find the link for these particular planner sheets. I'm still crafting my own creation when it comes to budget sheets, and I just haven't gotten it to the point where I can actually start using them. Like, I'm still making tweaks here and there, trial and error with them, but at some point I will transition back to using my own uniquely created budget sheets. But for now, I am using a budget packet that I purchased off Etsy, and like I said, I will go back into my Etsy account and I will I will put the link for that below in the description if you want to pick up this same one. They come in various different colors, well, like colorways. When you purchase it, it's a digital download. I don't know if that particular shop does physical copies, but I did the digital download because I'm able to just, you know, print on the size paper I need and then do my holes and all the things. But like I said, there's different colors. I'm just going with kind of this muted beige because I'm getting into neutral kind of coloring. I'm still working on some stuff with my recording desktop area, but I ordered a few things and I think it's going to look really nice. I'm wanting to keep it very elegant and classy, so we'll see. But so we're going to start with our bills. So this is just tracking my bills from 1st all the way to 31st, whatever I got. So we're of course going to start with the big boy, which is the mortgage. And the mortgage is always due on the 1st. So we're going to say August 1. And the amount is $1,575. It's actually $1,574 some change. I just never remember what that is, and I always just pay $1,575. That's just always, I just always round it up anyway. So that's what I put there. Next, we're gonna say Xfinity. Xfinity is also due on the 1st, and Xfinity is $141.47. Then we have Netflix. Netflix is also on the 1st, and Netflix is going to be $8.75. I did downgrade from whatever the next tier is to the $8.75, only because there just wasn't really a lot of stuff that I watch on Netflix. There are a few things that I do watch on there and some things that are coming up, but I'm getting into a season where ads don't necessarily bother me anymore. YouTube is different. I do pay for YouTube Premium, which you'll see that here in a bit. I do pay for that only because I do like to skip the ads on YouTube. I'm sorry. I do. So I do like to watch without the ads. But from my understanding, creators still benefit from viewers who have YouTube Premium. So next we have my SoFi loan that is going to be due on the 5th, and we will get into the nitty-gritty details of what this is even about when I do my debt confession video. So that is $758.04. I know that is a chunky payment, but don't worry, we will get into it later. Trupanion, which is my dog's insurance. Yes, I still have a dog, same dog, and he has his pet insurance. So his pet insurance, and it actually went up in July, and it is $75.12. That's what that is. We do have, let's see, Dropbox. Do I need to add that on there? Nope. I canceled Dropbox because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to increase my cloud storage, because all of my devices I use are Apple anyway. My phone, my iPad, my laptop. Well, I do have a gaming laptop that is not an Apple product, but it's strictly used for gaming, and I have a external drive for that. So all of my other devices are all Apple. So I was like, why am I continuing to pay for Dropbox Premium when I can just increase my storage a little bit more if I need to on my Apple devices? So Dropbox is gone. OpenAI, I do pay for that. And if you don't know what OpenAI is, that is ChatGPT. I pay for the premium version of that. So that is going to be $21.98. AirServe. This is my subscription to, it's like a HVAC company where you pay like a set amount per month, or you can pay it out for the whole year, and it includes 2 HVAC inspections a year. So one for the spring to lead you into the summer, and then one in the fall for leading you into winter. So one for air conditioning, one for your heating. And it also gives me discounts on any kind of repairs or things like that if I have to have any repairs to my HVAC system. So that is August 10th. And the amount for that is going to be $14.50. Okay, next we have my business Amex card. And you're probably wondering, Raven, you said in a previous video that you hadn't been doing anything business related. What's going on, babe? I did keep certain subscriptions going, even though I wasn't creating. And you're probably like, why did you waste the money doing that? But I just didn't. I didn't cancel them. So things like Canva, Adobe, and I use that stuff outside of side hustle business stuff. I use Canva for work at times. I don't use Adobe for work, but I do use Canva for some work things, like if I need to create a PowerPoint presentation or any kind of like handout, any kind of stuff like that. I use Canva for stuff like that. So so I have still been paying for that. And like I said, that gets charged to my business Amex because essentially I did have it originally for business, so that's what it's on there for. Like I said, I kept Canva, Adobe, Epidemic Sounds. It's like 3 or 4. There's one other subscription that's on there as well. Oh, HP Ink. HP Ink is on there too, but I have recently canceled that because I replaced my HP printer with a Canon laser printer. So excited about that. So all those things were on there, and that's what I have. So for business Amex, that's going to be due on August 14th, and it is $38. City Pay, and again, we will go over all the debt in another video. August 14th for that, and the payment on that one is $85. All right, we got Hulu, and I'm sorry, I'm just gonna start writing stuff. Hulu, Ring. I got Apple Care for my phone. So Hulu, all these are due on the 15th. Hulu's due on the 15th. Ring is due on the 15th. And then Apple Care is due on the 15th. These are Apple Cares for my phone. I do have an annual Apple Care fee for my MacBook, but this is Apple Care for my phone. And then for my watch and my iPad, the Apple Care was included for 2 years for free. Well, I ain't gonna say it was for free, but they say it was for free. It was included. I got my watch and my new iPad from Best Buy, and when you purchase Apple products from Best Buy and you have Total Member at Best Buy, you get Apple Care for free for like 2 years on Apple devices when you buy them. So my watch and my iPad are covered, but this is for my phone. So Hulu, total cost of Hulu is $21.89. Ring is going to be $21.94, and then Apple Care is $9.87. Okay, then we have lovely MLG&W. For those that don't know, MLG&W is Memphis Light Gas and Water. It is our utility company. It is the only utility company available for our area. So they got a monopoly on the utilities. I'm gonna budget. This is a budgeted amount because we never know until we get the bill, and I probably won't get August's bill until next week. But we have been having to run the air conditioner a lot more because we've been having heat waves and all that kind of stuff. So I typically budget about $250 for the utility bill, but I'm probably gonna make that like $300, only because we've been running the air conditioner much more because it's so hot. Okay, MLG&W. Then we have life insurance. Pay for that separately outside of my job. Life insurance is on the 17th also, and that's going to be $114. And then we have Planet Fitness, which is my gym membership. That one is on August 17th. And it's $24.99. And here we go, YouTube. I need to see the cost of the YouTube membership because I don't know. Let's see, I need to figure out the cost. Uno momento. I need to find the cost of the YouTube membership because I do not know. That is $15.32. Okay, yep, that's right. $15.32 for YouTube. And then we have Harbor Freight, which is a credit card for a kind of tool type store. That's on the 20th, and that is $55. Paramount Plus. And I know somebody gonna say it in the comments, girl, you pay for a lot of subscriptions. I do, but this is actually downsized significantly. Believe it or not, downsized very significantly. So we got Paramount Plus is $14.22. Then we have Home Serve, That is also going to be due on the 21st. And HomeServe is a home warranty type company. A couple years ago, Memphis changed up some stuff regarding your water lines and whatnot, and what the resident is responsible for versus what the city is responsible for. So essentially, the city is responsible for the sidewalk to the street, and you're responsible for the sidewalk to your house. I know that doesn't make sense, but that's the way they said it. My street does not have sidewalks, so I'm essentially responsible from the curb to the house, and then the city is responsible for, I guess, anything from the curb to the street. But so they when they made that change, they mentioned that they were partnering, I guess, with this company for, I'm assuming, discounted rates of like warranty type plans or whatever. But I did go ahead and sign up for it. This has been a couple years, because I actually signed up for it for my mom's house when I was living at home, and we did have to use it once for a pretty big issue that was occurring with the water over there. So it did, and they actually paid. It did help. So when I bought my house, I automatically signed up for it. And what I signed up for was for the water line situations outside, and then you can also put in coverage for any external electrical. And that is for like your weatherhead type situation. I don't know if weatherheads is a thing everywhere, but basically a weatherhead is the little pole that is on your house. It sticks up out of the meter, the electricity meter, and the power line actually attaches to that, and that is how electricity gets to your house. So again, that's something else. The city or MOGNW is not responsible for that. So if there's damage to your weatherhead, you as the homeowner are responsible for repairing the weatherhead, and they will not come back. They will not come out and reconnect your power in the event of a situation until your weatherhead has been repaired and inspected and all things. So this covers that, and we have used this in the 3 years that we have been here. We have used it for that exact purpose. So I will be keeping that. So, and it is $26.22. Wells Fargo Reflect. This is a credit card, and it's going to be due August 21st. Spelled that ugly. August 21st, and I want to say the amount for that one is $177. I think it's always $177. Well, not always, but as I continue to pay it down, it'll be less than $177, but $177. And Adobe and Canva. I do like to add these. Adobe and Canva, even though they get charged to that business Amex card, I do like to add it just so I know when it is coming out. 22, and then August 23rd for Canva. Adobe is $14.26, and then Canva is $12.95. All right, and then we have Amazon Music. Again, don't come for me regarding my subscriptions. So that one's going to be August 23rd, and the amount for that one is $12.03. Wells Fargo Small Business. And again, like I said, we will go through all of the debt later. That's going to be $134, and that one's due on the 23rd. I got iCloud storage on August 23rd. That one's going to be $299. And then I have Affirm, which this is going to be one of the debts that I have in my goal, because remember I made a goal to pay off all debts that were under $1,000. Affirm will be one of them. because I do have an Affirm that is under 1,000, but I'm just going to put what the minimum payment of it is. But I plan to pay it off in the month of August. But the minimum payment on it is $36.75. Then we have Chase Business. That's going to be due August 28th, and Chase Business is $75. All right, flipping over, we have Chase Freedom. That one is going to be due on August 28th as well, and the amount for that one is $40. I have an IRS debt. Let's not even get into it, but it will come up later in another video. Debt confession is coming. I have an IRS debt, and the monthly payment for it is $166. We have Tractor Supply. That's a credit card. It's due on the 28th, and that is, I don't know. I don't know. I got a email, un momento. I got an email about that one, and the reason why I don't know that one is because that one is newer. I think I've only paid it. No, I don't think I paid it at all. Tractor Supply. Let's see. Yep, I got it today. Actually, I got the email. So the payment for a tractor, the payment, oh, and it's actually due on the 21st. Damn it. Why did I put the 28th? So we're just going to say the 21st. Tractor Supply is due on the 21st, and it is $30 is the minimum payment for that. Yep. Okay. All right. So that is going to be all of our bill tracking. So now what I want to do is I want to put everything on my little calendar so that I can see it and know. And I'm actually going to go ahead and speed this up because it's essentially the same thing that I just did. It's just in calendar format. Okay, so now what I like to do is I kind of like to go through and designate on here what's a bill versus what's a debt, because I'm just weird like that. So I'm going to grab up like 2 colors here. It really doesn't matter what colors, but I like to say what's a debt and what's a bill. So we got debt, 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 that is debt, Ross Fargo Reflect, Tractor Supply, debt, 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 debt. Okay. And then I do like to go in and do bills. So bill, that is a bill. Bill, bill, bill. Adobe is a bill. Trupanion, LGW, life insurance, Planets Fitness, YouTube. Okay. I just like to go through it and do that. Let me designate paydays on here. So I need to mark off la paydays, and I'm marking off paydays for the household. So, because I got to know when everybody is getting paid. So we got the 1st, the 15th, 29th, and then we have the 5th. So I'm going to put another mark here on the 15th, and then I need to do one here on the 31st. Yep. Okay, so 1st, 15th, because someone in the household has a magic month. Yep, someone has magic month, and then the second person It's just twice. And I'm saying household. It's just 2 of us here. But I'm referencing household. So yeah, one of us has a magic month and the other just gets paid semi-monthly. So there we go. All right. So we got that. Is all good and ready to go. So let us flip over to our budget by Paycheck. I would like to go ahead and do the first Paycheck because that is coming up this week. So I do want to go ahead on and do that. And like I said, I budget for the entire house of what all is brought in income wise. So I do multiple Paycheck budgets for the month. Because like I said, I'm not just doing one for myself. There's another individual living in the home as well. So, but again, I will not be sharing income amounts. Boundaries. Remember? Boundaries. So what I need to do is I need to see what exactly is due for this first paycheck. So essentially the way the paychecks are falling for this first paycheck budget that I'm going to do, I need to look at what is due the 1st through the 14th. So that is what's all going to be in this paycheck budget. So bills, we have Xfinity, and we know that is budgeted at $141.47. Then what else we have bills wise? We got Netflix, which is budgeted at $875. And we also have True Pinion, which that is $75.12. We got OpenAI. OpenAI is $21.98, I think. Yes, $21.98. Then we have AirServe. No, I'm just gonna write all these. Well, that was it. That was actually the end of bills. So AirServe was $14.50, I'm sure. Yes, $14.50. Expenses, that's gonna be our cash envelopes. I'll fill that in a bit, but I want to do debt payments. So debt payments, we have the mortgage. We got the mortgage, and then the SoFi loan, and then we also have the business Amex, and then we have City Pay. Now, how this is actually working out, for this particular paycheck budget, we're actually counting in 2 paychecks because someone gets a paycheck technically on the 31st of July, which is tomorrow, and then someone else gets paid on the 1st. So we got 2 paychecks that are being allotted for all these bills from the 1st all the way through the 14th. So there's that. All right, so mortgage is $15.75. SoFi loan is $758.04. Business Amex $38, and then City Pay is $85. And let's see, our savings. I do need my older sheets because I always forget what we're doing. I always need my older sheets for that. So, and I'm strategically covering something up right here. So this is my sheet from last paycheck budget, so I just need to know the months and stuff here. So we got our emergency fund gets money, vacay fund, Canaan, holidays, disaster fund, and I'll go through all these at some point in another video. I may do a video just dedicated to like, here's how my budget is set up overall, and you'll get to see like my savings categories, sinking fund categories, all the things. I'll do something like that. So sinking funds, we have a subscription sinking funds, because there are certain subscriptions that I have that you all will not see like in my regular monthly budget, only because I pay for them annually, but I set aside money in a sinking fund to pay for them when they come up annually. An example of that would be like Amazon Prime is one of my subscriptions that I have a sinking fund for, to just pay for once a year when it comes up. Same thing with like my Apple Care for my MacBook. I set aside money for that every payday to then pay it when it comes due. Another sinking fund is phone bill, because as you saw, you did not see any kind of phone bill or insurance payments for the bill, for the month, for the bill tracker. Insurance payments being like car insurance, because we pay those biannually. We pay those biannually every 6 months, and we just set aside money in a sinking fund to pay that. So we got phone bill has a sinking fund. Insurance has one, because you get certain perks, certain perks and discounts for paying these two in full at the renewal instead of just paying them monthly. I have a car maintenance sinking fund, and then I have what I call bun savings. And I know that sounds weird, but bun savings is a little savings account I put together for my first nephew. I have a little savings account for him. So there's going to be that. Emergency fund gets 50. Vacay fund gets 50. Canaan gets 20. Canaan is my dog. I have a little fund for him that I pull from, like for when he needs to go to the vet, anything like that. He has pet insurance, but that's just more for like major emergencies. But his little sinking fund is for any kind of routine pet appointments. Disaster fund gets $20. Subscriptions get $25. Phone bill gets $35. Insurance gets $45. Car maintenance $25, and then bun savings gets $25. Expenses, so we're gonna say pet, because we do have to account for that in this paycheck, absolutely, because his pet food, every 2 weeks, hold your breath, every 2 weeks is $201.10. He has a special diet and all the things, so yes, his food is delivered to the house, and it is $201 every 2 weeks. So that's for the pet food. Groceries, I don't think I spelled groceries right. Yeah, I did. Groceries budgeted for just this paycheck, we're not talking for the month, but just for this paycheck period, is I budget each paycheck, I do $150 a week, so that's $300 for groceries. And then for gas, I budget $50. Yeah, $50 for gas, $25 a week. And then what else? We got household gets $50. And then personal care gets $50. Okay, so that is everything there. So let's go ahead and calculate up these here amounts. So for bills, we got $141.47 plus $8.75 plus $75.12 plus $21.98 plus $14.50. So that budgeted total is going to be $261.82 for bills. Expenses, which is basically our spending, $201.10 for pet. That's just for his food. Groceries, because he doesn't get groomed this pay period. No, he doesn't groom to the middle of the month. So groceries, $300 plus $50 for gas, plus $50 for household, plus $50 for personal. So that's going to be $651.10. That's just for spending. And then for our sinking funds, we have 50 plus 50 plus 20, 15 plus 20. That's going to be 155 for savings. And then for our sinking funds, we have 25 plus 35, 45, 25, 25. And that's 155 for sinking funds. Debt payments, we have $1,575 for the mortgage, plus $758.04 for SoFi, plus $38 plus $85. So our total will be $242,604. Okay. So there's that. All right, so let's put our totals here. So we have bills. We said that was $261.82. Expenses $651.10. Savings is $155. Sinking funds $155. Debt is going to be $242,604. All right, so that's our totals there. So for this paycheck period, we are sending out 82 plus 651.10 plus 155 plus 155 plus 2426.04. Oh my God. So we're sending out a budgeted total of 341396. Okay. Not not too shabby, but oh my God. Okay, so that's what we're sending out. And once I can pay off a lot of this debt, we are going to be so golden once we can pay off all of this debt. All right, so there we are. So that is the paycheck budget for first round of paychecks for the month of August. Like I said, we have 2 paychecks coming in for our household. We got one coming in on the 31st and then one coming in on the 1st. All right, so that's what your girl got going on for the month of August. We got couple goals running. Like I said, I want to pay off any debt that's under 1K, and then I need to continue saving for a trip that's planned for later this year. And yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. Like I said, got a lot of debt happening, but we will get into the nitty-gritty of all that in a debt confession video that'll come later this month. And just want to close with a little encouragement. This is, of course, my fresh start. Like I mentioned in my previous video, my kind of welcome back video, I'm not striving for perfection. I'm striving for presence. So you're going to be my accountability partner here. So definitely look forward to hearing and seeing from me in my next video. Make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that bell so that you're notified anytime I post a video. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.